I want to tell you about a device that's completely transformed how I capture ideas. All right, productivity nerds, it's Pete here, and today I want to talk to you about a device that's completely transformed how I capture ideas, manage my business, and get things done. It's the Crush AI voice recorder, and if you're drowning in emails, struggling to capture fleeting thoughts, or constantly feeling like there aren't enough hours in the day, this might be your new best friend. But here's the thing. There's one major limitation you need to know about before you buy it, and this could be a deal breaker, but we'll get to that in a moment. First, let me paint you a picture. You're driving to a client meeting and you suddenly have the perfect solution to that budget problem you've been wrestling with. Or you're in the grocery store and you remember 3 urgent emails you need to send. Or you're lying in bed at 11 p.m. watching some reruns of Frasier or Star Trek: The Next Generation when you finally figure out the structure for next week's presentation. So what do? You pull out your phone, open the Notes app, and try to type while walking or driving or sleeping. You might even use the voice to text that completely butchers what you're trying to say. Or many times you'll just say, "I'll remember it tomorrow." But spoiler alert, you won't. This is exactly the problem David Allen talks about in Getting Things Done. Your brain is for having ideas, not for storing them. And if you can't trust your capture system, your mind will keep cycling through all the same thoughts over and over and over again. Like, what if Yasmin Bleeth and I had crossed paths in our prime? And those thoughts are going to keep stealing mental bandwidth from what actually matters. Listen, if you're familiar with GTD, the Getting Things Done system by David Allen, you know the first step is capture, getting everything out of your head and into a trusted system. Allen says it best, your mind is like water. It takes the shape of whatever contains it. Your head is full of random to-dos and half-formed ideas, and you can't think clearly about the big picture most of the time because it's trying to store all that stuff. The Crush recorder is the perfect GTD capture tool because it eliminates all the friction. There's no unlocking your phone, no opening the apps, no typing. You just press a button and dump whatever's in your brain into the device, and the device handles the rest, transcribing, organizing, and making it searchable so you can process it later during your weekly review. Here's how it fits into my actual workflow. Let's say I'm driving to pick up a delicious sandwich from Jersey Mike's, and I need to follow up with a friend about their social media campaign or their online course or whatever it might be. Instead of trying to remember it, I just tap the recorder and say, "Hey, send this email to Sarah Johnson. Here's the subject. We're going to follow up on our online course discussion." Or, "Hey, Sarah, thanks for taking the time to meet yesterday. I've been thinking about your situation, and here's something I might recommend." When I get back to my little office at home, that recording is already transcribed and waiting in the app. I can see the preview, know exactly what it's about, and if I want it polished, I can use the AI formatting to clean it up. Fix any transcription errors or make it sound more professional. Then I just copy and paste it into an email and send it off. The whole process from idea to sent email takes maybe a minute. And compare that to trying to remember the whole idea, losing it, or remembering it 3 days later, then spending 10 minutes trying to reconstruct what you said. This is a game changer. Speaking of emails, this is where the Crush really shines for busy professionals. I used to be one of those people who'd stare at a blank email for 5 minutes, crafting or recrafting the perfect response. Now, I just talk through what I want to say, let AI clean it up, and boom, I'm done. The beauty for me is that speaking is always faster and more clear than me writing. I just can't write fast enough, and I can't type fast enough to keep up with my brain sometimes. When you're talking, you're naturally organizing your thoughts in a logical flow. You don't get caught up in the perfect grammar or finding the exact word. You just communicate. Now, I've tried other voice recorders, and here's why they don't work for the GTD workflow. They make you do too much thinking later. You record something, but then you have to open the app, figure out what it was about, decide whether to transcribe it, and manually organizing it. My biggest issue with some of the other devices that shall remain nameless is that you would have to open each recording and hit transcribe to be able to get an idea of what that recording was even about, unless you remembered exactly what you said at a particular date and time. That's crazy. That's totally missing the mark on what AI is supposed to be doing for us. Ultimately, it was just moving work into a different place. And there's almost no value in seeing recording 01, recording 02, or recording 03. That defeats the whole point of quick capture. The Crush fixes this because every recording is automatically transcribed, and you get that crucial preview, at least a few lines of the transcription visible. I can easily and clearly see email to Sarah Johnson or grocery store list or ideas for next quarter's content calendar. I know what everything is before opening it, and I can just browse through the whole list of recordings. And the device itself is perfectly designed for always on the go lifestyle. It's tiny, about the size of a pack of juicy fruit Bubblicious, and it connects via Wi-Fi, not Bluetooth. That means there's no phone dependency. And maybe one of the best features they have is the Apple Watch app. I can be out for a walk with just my Apple Watch, have an idea, hit the button, record it on my watch, and when I get home, it uploads it right to the cloud account. Or I can record it on my Crush device, and when I get back within Wi-Fi, it'll upload it to the cloud as well. This little tactile slider switch on the side is brilliant because there's no ambiguity about when it's on or when it's off. And here's the productivity detail I love. When you press the record button right there, the logo lights up. There's a little bit of a haptic vibration. I know it's simple feedback, but it confirms that my thought is being captured. It's the little things like this that build trust in your system. But here's what really sets the Crush apart from other AI voice recorders. The AI is actually useful. With other devices, the AI feels like a marketing gimmick. You record something and that's it. There's no automatic transcription, no organization, no intelligence applied to making your life easier unless you subscribe to the service and press a button. And if you have 100 recordings, that's a ton of manual effort. I thought the point of AI is to make our lives easier. But Crush gets it right. Every recording is automatically transcribed as soon as it uploads. If you're recording through the app, it even transcribes in real time. The default transcription, though, is just a clean, raw transcript, which is perfect for quick review. But if you need something more polished for a client email or proposal, or for notes or summaries, or to strip out to-dos or tasks, you can use your credits to have the AI reformat it professionally. I rarely need the fancy formatting because most of my captures are for my own reference. But when I do need it, like for an important communication, it's there, it works incredibly well, but you can also just copy and paste it and put it into ChatGPT or your favorite AI. Now, let me talk about money for a second. Yes, there is a subscription to this thing. It's about $100 per year for unlimited transcriptions and AI formatting. Is it worth it? For me, absolutely. Think about it in this way. If this saves me even 30 minutes a week, and it saves me way more than that right now, that's 26 hours per year. At your salary rate or your billing rate or your wage rate, that subscription pays for itself in a couple of weeks probably. But more importantly, it's not just about time, it's about mental clarity. When you have a trusted capture system, your brain can focus on higher level thinking instead of just trying to remember random stuff. That's productivity you can't put a price on. Okay, now here's the catch that I mentioned at the beginning. This device only records for 10 minutes at a time. After that, it stops. There is a warning. You get that little haptic feedback and you'll notice that the Crush light is no longer on the device, but it just stops. Of course, if you're recording a longer thought, you can just hit the button again and you'll get another 10 minutes of recording. For quick capture, which is really what GTD is all about, this isn't a problem. Most of my recordings are 30 seconds to 2 minutes. A grocery list, an email idea, a quick note, a task, a reminder, something like that. But if you're trying to record an entire meeting or want to do long form brain dumps, this limitation might frustrate you. There is good news though. I've reached out to Crush and they said that they're promising a firmware update to be able to modify the recording time on this device so that you can extend it up to an hour, which will be extremely helpful and puts it on par with all of the other AI recording devices. The app itself, though, can record longer, so it's just the physical device that has this constraint right now. And I just want to mention that if you don't have this device, or if you don't have an Apple Watch, you can still just download their app and hit the record button in there, and you get all the same features, and the reality is most of us have our phone with us all the time. Listen, the bottom line for me is that I have tried a number of AI voice recorders. I haven't shown you most of them on this channel. I did show you a couple of them when they really pissed me off bad. But if you're serious about productivity, if you've read Getting Things Done and actually use that system, if you're tired of losing great ideas because you couldn't capture them in the moment, the Crush AI voice recorder is a game changer. Is it perfect? Well, I don't know if it's perfect, but is it the best one I have tried yet? By far. Their hardware is second to none. The lanyard on the recording device means that I have it wherever I go. The only way that this thing could be better is if it were the Starfleet logo with a magnetic backing and I could put it right here and just tap it like a communicator. That would be awesome. Nerdy, but awesome. Now, I will say the 10-minute recording limit here is a little annoying, but 9 out of 10 times it's more than enough. And even when I've been talking through longer ideas, I just hit the record button again. It's not that big of a deal, but I will change that setting for up to 60 minutes when I can. But for quick capture, email dictation, building a trusted system that actually works the way your brain works, this is absolutely the best tool I've found. If you want to pick it up, I think your future self will thank you for never losing another great idea. And your clients or your teammates or your family will appreciate those clear, more thoughtful communications that come from speaking naturally instead of struggling to write. Listen, I don't care who you are. Time is your most valuable asset, and this little device helps you make the most of it. If you want to pick it up, I'll put a link to it in the description below. I'll see you later.